Welcome back to Introduction to Engineering Design. This is Module 5.5b, and we're working on more mirrored entities today. So to do this, what we're going to work on is our AutoMoBlocks connector piece. And what you'll see as you look at this is it's symmetrical. And it's symmetrical in 4 quadrants. So if I cut it down the middle here, it would be symmetrical fore and aft, or above and below that line. And then if I cut it through the midpoint there, it would be right and left of the line symmetrical. So let's draw 1/4 of that part, and I happen to give you the sketch and the dimensions. The dimensions aren't critical on this. It's just to get you started. So let's start with a new part. And what we're going to do is we're going to do an extrusion into the front plane. Now, notice that the origin is kind of important here, because remember I talked about I can split the part midway in height and midway in width, and I want to put that split point at my origin. That gives me some very nice planes to work off of, and if you keep that eye out for symmetry in your modeling, you'll find that it's very easy to do. So let's get rolling. I'm just going to start out by drawing a rough outline of my entity. Pick up my horizontal line here back to the origin. I'll go ahead and apply a few dimensions here. This is 0.39. Width to width is 1.15. This is 0.22. .00. Oops. 0.300. Sorry about that. And 0.320. And last, I've got to dimension this at 0.04. And I think that's it. So I'm fully defined now, and I've got to basically apply a couple fillets. So we haven't really done much of this, but this is the sketch fillet. What the sketch fillet will do is, when you select it, is you will select an entity to fillet, or to put a curved line between, and the radius of the curved line. So we're looking for 0.10 at that corner. You'll see it actually trims the lines and leaves you with that fillet. We're looking for a 0.05 at this one. And they actually ask you for a 0.04 at the next one, and you'll see what happens. If I try and apply a 0.04, fillet there, it'll just make that corner. Now if I try and apply a fillet radius that is larger than the distance between the 2 points, what happens is the point is completely consumed in the fillet, so that will not work. Okay. So there we have it. We have our sketch. So if you compare the two, they're reasonably close to done. So at this point, let's exit our fully defined sketch and complete our extrusion. So I say to do it 0.65, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a mid-plane extrusion, and there is a reason for that typically, and that's to maintain symmetry. So mid-plane, I'm going to call it 0.65 inches, and we will accept that extrusion. And there we have 1/4 of our model piece. So as we look at this, I can do some mirroring, and I'm going to use planes this time. So I'm going to mirror about the right plane. So what I want to do is choose my mirror command. The first thing it asks me to do is to find that plane. So I can come over here, or the surface. So I could choose my surface here, which is the surface of the boss extrude, or I could, better yet, use the right plane, which will maintain symmetry. I get a preview of what that looks like, and I go ahead and accept that mirror, and now I've got half of my model. So if I do one more mirror here, I can again go back, and now I can use my top plane and mirror the first mirror. Now I have modeled my complete part just by sketching 1/4 of it and doing a double mirror. Now one thing you may see happen, and I'm going to go ahead and suppress some features here. I'm going to suppress and indirectly suppress both of those. I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit my sketch and go normal to it. Now, one of the things that you may see is you may see people wanting to mirror sketches. So I warned you against this before, so let me go ahead and select all of my items, and I'm going to go ahead and command a mirror and then a second mirror. So I'm going to mirror my sketch about the midpoint. And then I'm going to mirror this sketch again about the center point. And accept that. And yowza, that's what I end up with. Now, you can see the reason we don't really want to do this. You end up with a tremendous amount of dependencies in here that are very easy to break and very easy to disrupt your sketch. If I make a change on my mirrored entity within my sketch, it will transfer into all the mirrored quadrants of my sketch, provided that those relationships are not broken. The problem is maintaining those relationships sometimes is difficult in a real design setting. So when your parts will change and they will modify. So that's mirroring the Automo blocks part. Again, two ways to do it. One is the sketch, which I don't recommend you mirroring the sketch. It's just an exercise for demonstration. The real way to do this is to this is what you'll get to. You'll show gaps and all kinds of problems in your sketch. So that's one of the reasons not to do it. But the second way to do it, and the preferred way to do it, was my first demonstration, which is to mirror the feature. That's it for mirrors. 5.5b. Thanks for